99 bottles, yeah, we've got 'em all. Line 'em all up and we'll drink till we fall. 'Cause Arthur Cantina's the best liquor store. Arthur Cantina, you'll never need more.
Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Arthur Cantina podcast. I'm your host, JP, with the other host, Anthony.
Welcome back, ACWLers.
ACWLers, I like that. You thought about that one for a while? ACWLers.
Well, we need a little acronym for our guests at home.
I'm all about acronyms.
All four fans that we have that watch.
I feel like we haven't podcasted in a minute.
We did last week.
We took last week
we
off.
skipped last week.
Took last week off. I had plans to do. I had to go down, celebrate a wonderful wedding, and now we're back. But we're back with the boys. Boys are back in town.
Good to be back.
Speaking of boys back in town.
Well, big news.
The biggest boy is back in town.
Our good friend, our biggest fan of the show, the new president-elect, President 47, Donald J. Trump.
Number 45, number 47. He has come down the street. He made his little speech in the South Bronx.
I got to say, Kamala didn't come to the Bronx.
Kamala did not come to the Bronx.
And Trump has been to the Bronx not just once, but at least twice in this election run.
They had a Trump parade down Arthur Avenue.
I don't know if that was him, though.
No, that wasn't him. That
No,
was some
yeah.
clown. The guy got into the market. The guy looked like, no, I could have, if I put an oversized suit on and like a fake wig, and that was like what the guy looked like, except not as good looking as me.
He did go to Crotona Park, which is less than a mile from here. And then he did go to 233rd Street. I went to a barbershop over there. I think it was 233rd Street.
No, it was, I don't know. It was somewhere in Castle Hill, I think.
Or maybe Castle Hill, which
Castle
again is not far from here too, maybe like 2 miles, if that. So Trump's been here pretty often. You know, I think the guy outworked her.
Did he win the Bronx?
No.
Because I was watching,
He won Staten Island.
Well, yeah. No, I know he won Staten Island, but I wanted to see the breakdown of the Bronx. Because Staten Island is like the only borough that goes Republican.
Bronx, I believe, was 65 Dem, 35 Kamala.
65 Dem, 35 Kamala.
I got to double check these numbers.
That doesn't make sense.
Brooklyn and Queens, I think, were a little bit higher, 75, 70. And then the most was Manhattan.
Yeah, Brooklyn and
Manhattan was 80% Kamala.
The two worst boroughs, Brooklyn and Manhattan. Go figure.
Well, what I was thinking about, and I think why, this is my own political analysis of why the Dems lost. I'm going to compare it. I'm going to make a liquor comparison to why the Dems lost. I'm going to use it by a company called Michter's Whiskey. Now, they have captured the upper echelon of our customer bracket. What I mean by that is their Michter's 20, the Michter's 25 are super sought after. You're lucky if they're on the shelf that same season that they come out, and they're commanding top dollars. Michter's 20 is going for $7,000. Michter's 25, if you're lucky, $25,000. But I've seen as high as $35,000.
And they got the celebration.
Celebration is all part of that like crazy tier, right? Michter's has that locked, but Michter's has a really hard time selling their $40 whiskey, which is super inexpensive, which is cheaper than almost any other whiskey in the same, I want to say, class. They're rye, they're bourbon, they're wheated, fantastic. The other guy that I miss is the Sour Mash, which I think is a direct competitor of Jack Daniel's. The Sour Mash is really good too. Really tough for us to move a lot of it. And we have it at a fantastic price. We have bottles open to sample. I think they just don't have a good connection to that clientele. They're not as hyped about Michter's as they are the upper tier people are hyped about the higher end Michter's. That to me is why the Dems lost. They can capture the upper tier of the Democratic Party to come out and vote, but the majority ain't going to come out and vote for them. What you see is 15 million people less this election compared to last election. Now, I've seen a bunch of conspiracies about why there's 15 million less and 15 million more last election.
Yeah, because
actual
people voted.
Let's make believe.
They just didn't, oh, look, 100,000 votes just came in overnight. Get the f*** out of here. Okay?
That's my political
they couldn't
analysis.
Send in a bunch of fake votes like they did for Joe Biden. They stole the election, but the Americans stole it back. I'm sorry for yelling and smacking the table doesn't matter. But no, in all seriousness, the Democrats, they don't excite the people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You had this lady that nobody voted for ever. She didn't get. She dropped out before the primaries began in whatever 2020.
She's a very good VP pick. I don't think she's a good pick for president.
Well, the thing with VPs, the funny thing with VPs, they go, you're always supposed to pick someone dumber than you. George Bush Sr. had Dan Quayle. He was like an idiot, couldn't spell potato or whatever. Bush Jr. was the only one that didn't, Bush Jr. had the devil, and the devil outsmarts everybody. Dick Cheney is the devil. I think we could agree on that. Who backed Kamala? That's another whatever.
He backed Kamala?
Yeah, the Cheneys were backing Kamala. The Democratic Party of Peace was being backed by Dick Cheney, the guy who lied us into a 20-year war.
I didn't see Dick Cheney. I saw Liz Cheney.
Yeah, yeah. You just poured me Lalo.
Lalo Tequila. So
so Obama had Biden. Biden's an idiot, right? Trump had Pence. Pence is an idiot. And then Biden had Kamala. Kamala's an idiot. Like, Biden was like, who's dumber than me? And then you got Kamala. Kamala was like, who's dumber than me? And then she got Tim Walz, who's like the weirdest part. Like, I don't know where that guy came from. But now,
very funny, those memes of him, his face zoomed in. Like,
he's a strange bird.
Internet's hilarious. They come up with such good memes.
But I wish we could be drinking. We always talk about the Trump vodka. I wish we could be tasting it right now.
So Trump vodka, for who hasn't had the opportunity to taste the Trump vodka.
I mean, dog.
It is complete garbage.
Yeah.
It is nasty. I guess he needed money. He signed his name over to likeness for it. I don't think he had any part in making it, from what I understand.
No.
Like his Omaha steaks that he had, the Trump steaks or the Trump knives, whatever he had.
No chance.
Yeah, he just lent his name out. Disgusting. Terrible, terrible vodka. If you're willing to pay $5,000 for it, the bottle's all right.
No, it was a tall, like...
It's supposed to be like the Trump Tower, whatever. I don't know.
Terrible.
I'm trying to think what it looks like the Trump bottle now. I know we have something. I can't think
almost
of the top of my
head. Where is it? The new, that Scotch next to the Talisker, the
Glen Turret?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah, a little bit thinner, a little bit taller. Yeah,
almost like a Saint Germain, but like squared out. We don't have the Saint Germains. Aretta?
I thought I ordered Saint Germain. But anyway, if you want to spend the money on eBay, if you got a bottle of Trump vodka in your house and you're gonna get 10 grand for it on eBay, God bless you.
Is that what they're going?
I don't know. Last time I saw it was like $5,000. That was that's like when he was first term. Now it's probably even more. I would speculate it more.
Was such garbage. Whatever.
I wish I held on to the 30 cases. We'd have another store in another state by now. But that's life. You can't be upset about the past.
Now, in celebration of the Trump victory, I don't know, some of us celebrating, some of us not. Some of us are indifferent. We're drinking tequila.
Lalo Tequila.
Won over a lot of Hispanic voters. The Democrats are very upset about that, by the way.
Well, it makes a lot of sense.
It does. It makes
a lot of sense. Definitely going to be really pissed about it. But, you got to get to your roots.
This is what we always suggest. Get drunk and discuss politics with your friends. Nothing bad can ever come of that.
Well, you have to remember, if you don't talk about it, you ain't going to figure anything out about it.
That's true. Did you pour Joey Lalo?
We effed up. Is that cup empty?
You effed up. I didn't drink, man.
Oh, your cup is...
Yeah, I gave him... I washed all the cups and everything, man.
Oh, my manners. I don't have any manners. We're almost out of Lalo, by the way, whoever sells us Lotto.
Lalo?
Lotto.
Yeah, it says we couldn't find them. We have like 6 somewhere, but... What am I getting off the nose? Just run-of-the-mill tequila. And I always talk about Lalo, how it's... Whose grandson? Don Julio. Don Julio's grandson. And what's the story? The cartel said you can't make any tequila for anybody or something weird. And
the cartel's a whole other animal.
They signed, the Don Julio signed the thing where his family can't make tequila or something like that, but his grandson didn't sign it because he was too young, so his grandson started making Lalo, right?
I don't know.
Fez always says that. I don't know. If Fez
What
is-
would be nice?
I don't know if Fez is telling the truth or just scamming people to buy a Lalo.
Joe, this is, it's anti-cartels tequilas. I heard that a little. I don't want to say we're gonna get Lalo on the podcast, but there's been some rumors that we might get Lalo on the podcast. We'll see what happens.
I would like to get Lalo on the podcast. So anyway, Lalo. This is Lalo. This is good. This is fantastic. Smooth.
I feel like it's
Very
gotten
light.
better. I feel like the first times I had it was a little sweeter. Now it feels lighter and drier, smooth as butter.
Smooth as butter. Does not burn at all.
No sweetness, no sugar. It's fantastic.
I get a sweetness, but it doesn't like. I'm gonna sound very pretentious. The sweetness from this doesn't dance on my tongue. You know what I mean? It just kind of settles it. It's not overpowering it. I'm not feeling like daggers of sweetness. If that makes any sense. It's like.
Finish the rest of this.
When you do that, when you get
I
a
threw
little
that.
aeration in your mouth, it's actually very good. Well, no additives.
No additives. Thing is, they say no additives. I'm sure it is no additives. I would like to get this in front of a mass spectrometer machine and see what's really in there. But if they say no additives, I would agree there's no additives. From my tongue's perspective, there's no additives in here. And typically what's indicative of additives, you can do the hand test. Fez loves to do this. I like to do it too, but I feel like it's a little hard sometimes if you got something on your hand before, like soap or something. What I think is indicative of an additive tequila is when you pick up a lot of vanilla, when you smell like a glycol, like a sweetness somehow you pick up on your nose. I feel like that's indicative of a additive tequila, especially when it hasn't seen like a brand new barrel. Hold on, wait. All right, go ahead.
Look cool.
It goes off camera.
Well, yeah. The camera's over here.
I know. Let's see if I can do a little more.
Let me take you off your.
No, I mean, that's pretty much what I was going to say. Like, if you pick up glycol, pick up a lot of vanilla, a lot of, like, powerful smells that really shouldn't be there, that's going to tell you it's an additive tequila. If you do the hand test and your hands are sticky after it dries, what's left over after the alcohol perishes?
I mean,
sugar.
Hands are fine.
Right, you don't have anything on your hands.
Yeah, I really like it. I would never like tequila, but I've recently started enjoying it. Again,
I like it a lot.
Because, like most people,
I think it has a lot of flavor.
First time I had tequila, I was younger, and you're drinking whatever piss in a bottle you can get.
Durango.
Yeah.
It's not even tequila.
Jose Cuervo, bottom shelf.
Yeah. I feel bad because Jose Cuervo was trying to get away from that. I don't feel bad, actually, because they have a lot of money. Whatever. F them. They're fine. But they are coming out with higher offerings. One of those that we're going to sample is the Reserva de la Familia.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean. Jose Cuervo, garbage.
The reason why I feel bad,
upper.
Jose Cuervo is synonymous with what you just said. Bottom of the shelf, stuff you drink when you weren't supposed to be drinking, garbage stuff. And then they came out with this offering, which is the Reserva de la Familia. It still has Jose Cuervo on it, so I think that puts a negative connotation when I recommend
it does.
to somebody.
People get afraid of it.
Jose Cuervo.
Explain. Yeah, I have to explain. No, this is the better one.
What are you talking about, Jose Cuervo? I want an additive-free tequila. That's why I came to the store. You go, listen, this is additive-free. Sample it. Try it out. Tell me what you think. Now, if you look at the color, it's a little hard to tell because this is a tinted glass. You see how much darker it is. It's an extra añejo. So extra añejo, don't quote me, I gotta look this up online. Believe it's 18 months. Believe it's 3 years. But I've seen extra añejos go much more than that. 5 years, 6 years, aged in barrel.
Now, do you know off the top of your head what about regular añejo?
Okay, so.
What is that, like a couple months?
I haven't brushed up on this in a while. Blanco is typically a couple weeks, 3 months, 6 months in stainless steel. I don't even think it does 6 months, maybe 3 months at most. So no barrel aging, just stainless steel to the bottle. Repo, if I remember correctly, is anywhere from 6 months to a year. Gets a little bit of that light caramel color in it. Very faint. Almost looks like flood water. I won't describe it like that, but it's very light. It's just like a little bit of tint. Maybe like more like tea, right? Añejo should be a year or better. Obviously, you could age your tequila as long as you like, but those are the minimum requirements for Añejo. Extra Añejo, I believe, is 18 months. If not, I might be wrong. It might be 5 years. I gotta look this up again. We'll write it in the captions. And there's a little bit of a change because typically Añejo,
year and a half to 5 years is
extra Añejo. I think is 3, and then there's like Grand Reserva Añejo. I think the Grand Reserva is a 5. Again, you can age it longer though too. Just because the minimum's 5, you can blend it with barrels that are 20 years old if you want. You can't say that on the bottle. You have to say the minimum age thing on the bottle. But this is their offering. I'm going to shoot it to you because I'm still finishing this Lalo. That's a good one. I did not record it. There
you go. Beautiful bottle. Nice bottle. And the color, like you said, of this one is... You can see that, the color.
Almost like a bourbon.
Yeah, like a bourbon, you know. You know us, where the bourbon goes.
Bourbon, typically in your shelf, is a minimum 4 years aged.
Now,
there are some bourbons that are 2 years, but most are aged 4 years or better. Some, you can buy a nice $45 bottle of Russell's 10-year-old for $45. Henry McKenna, $60. Also another 10-year-old. So we do get some nice offerings in the States.
it feels like a lighter nose.
Than the Lalo?
Yeah.
Could be. I'll taste them right after I finish this.
Ready? They look pretty cool in though.
They look good.
Look how I just doing like. There's gonna be a part in this podcast where I'm talking and then it's gonna cut away and then I'm just gonna have shades on. It's pretty cool. We didn't edit anything; it just happened that way.
Absolutely right. And even on the nose.
I haven't tasted it yet, but
Besides a little, I'm getting like the bacon and cheese. Besides the beginning kind of smells like a bourbon, but then there's like a fruit or like a fragrance in the back that throws you off from being a bourbon.
A lot more spice on this than the Lalo. Lalo's way smoother. I'm assuming it's because there's no barrel, none of that. On the back, a lot more vanilla on the end of it, though.
See, it's thin. All right, it's not so thick and heavy like something that's been added with sugar, which is also another clue that's an additive-free tequila. There's like a eucalyptus or like some kind of plant on the end.
You know what I get out of this? I don't want to throw you off.
Aloe vera, maybe?
From the smell and the taste, I get like, I don't know how this factors in. It smells like a box of crayons. Like very slight, I get like that. You know that? I don't
know what you're talking about. I mean, it could be wax too.
Well, there's wax on the freaking thing. Yeah, much more spices.
Depends if those crayons are post-RFK or pre-RFK.
Well, I haven't had any post-RFK crayons yet. And I can't wait to get some. RFK should have been the president of the United States, but that's a whole nother time for a whole nother podcast.
If you ran a Democrat like that, right?
Well, they didn't want to. They went with Joe Biden instead, like idiots.
I mean, that guy got a lot of attention. Now, I don't know if all his ideas are fantastic.
Get poisons out of food, clean up the environment.
We really should. Look at how smoky it was yesterday with all the fires. It was nuts.
I kept the door shut the whole time.
Yeah.
My throat was hurting. My eyes were hurting.
Yeah, I got everything's all messed up. And that's just a little bit of wildfire that was nearby.
Where the Lalo had most of its flavor up front, this has most of its flavor at the back end.
It's very good.
Yeah, I feel like it would, like to compare it. This has to be higher in alcohol, I'm assuming.
Good point. I didn't think about to mention that. You'd be hard pressed to know that both are the same ABV, 40%.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's probably not by much because, like, again, it feels like like a rye, a high rye where you get that spice, that fire.
Yes.
That's what I get from that.
I was just gonna say, heat on the back of the tongue. Mm-hmm. It does come out more like a rye, where that heat surfaces after the alcohol has passed, after you've coated your palate and you've got most of the liquid down your throat. That heat starts to pop right out. Yeah.
Not bad though.
Interesting stuff.
I think I like the Lalo better though.
Well, you know what? Both have their place. All right. The Lalo, I think, is more of the party starter. Mm-hmm. Your friends coming over, you're about to go out. You don't want to get hammered at the bar. Hammered meaning your wallet. You're gonna have a couple shots of Lalo. You feel great. Mm-hmm. Even if you get like some street fare, like a couple tacos.
Oh yeah.
A little shot or two of Lalo, a little bit of lime. You're good to go.
Not a bad idea. I want to do that right now.
The Jose Cuervo, my opinion, if you had a cigar or two,
absolutely.
You're chilling on your friend's porch.
Nice
and you're going to just hang out for a little bit, chat it up for an hour or two. You're going to have a slow and relaxed evening. I think the Jose Cuervo Reserva de la Familia is the way to go.
And I think that's represented in the look of the bottles. Just the looking at them. That's like one's a party girl, one's an old man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
One has a wax top, one has a gold shiny cap. This is like get your bling on.
Yeah.
Comb your hair, wash the car, go to the club. This one's like, you know what? We won the war. We've seceded from the Union. This is the drink we're gonna have now. All right. With that, we're gonna close. Hopefully, we don't have Civil War. Thank you so much for listening to the Art of Cantina podcast. That concludes this week's episode. Take care. Have a good day.
That's right.